Thank you so very much, Taylor. Good morning, everyone. We are the survey team, and we're super excited to present our results. Let's begin. Birmingham is a city defined by its ability to mold, shape, and determine the direction of its future. Unafraid of a challenge, the city is preparing to add another chapter to its growing list of accomplishments, hosting a global sporting event. We created a survey to examine overall knowledge and awareness of the World Games. The results were very eye-opening and helped us better understand marketing and promotional efforts. The survey was also very revealing as it helped us to clarify what matters most to residents and what they hope the city gains. So let's dive in. Our next speaker will be Carla Gomez, who will talk about resident knowledge of the World Games. Carla?
Good morning. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, Benita. Hello, everyone, again, and thank you for joining us again. My name is Carla Gomez. I will share some of the results from the knowledge portion of our survey. Also, I'll share a little bit of which games our respondents know the most about. We asked participants if they had prior knowledge of the World Games. Out of 174 responses, those participants are Alabama residents. 94% are Alabama residents, and 3.5 of them chose not to respond. Here we can see that most of our survey takers are between the ages of 18 through 44, making up 83% of the total. Next, I will highlight Spanish survey respondents. We're looking at the Spanish-speaking respondents only in this count. And as you can see, 89% were already aware that the World Games will be hosted here in Birmingham. While working on the survey, it was important for my team, instructors, and IB, Innovate Birmingham, staff to play a part in creating a more inclusion and diversity in data that can be collected. This is one of the many ways I personally would like to contribute to Birmingham's growth. So a quick thanks to all of you. Now that we know how much our respondents know, let's take a look at how they found out. By now, you know what age ranges took the survey and who knows the most. Research led us to finding out that marketing for the World Games is primarily online campaigns. Yet here we can see that good old-fashioned word of mouth came out as the most selected option. Billboards and signage came in second and third place. Though not shown here, we gave our respondents the opportunity to add in other methods of how they found out. One of our respondents shared that they are the youth volunteer group coordinator for the games. Also, we had a few people learn about the event through one of the mayor's press conferences and a personal highlight. Just about 7% of the respondents learned about the event through our survey. Now for the fun part. We decided to throw in what we've been calling the fun question in the middle of the survey to further pique people's interest and engagement. The word cloud that you see here highlights which of those games respondents selected the most. This is not a comprehensive list. However, all of the games we selected for the survey are games that will be taking place this summer. Later on, Group 2 will dive deeper into the games, medals, and history. The World Games website is very informative as it shows which countries are participating in which sports. Another thing that we took note of while creating the survey and working with the Spanish results is that some of the games may not be as well known in Spanish-speaking communities in Alabama. For example, tira y afloja, which is tug of war, was one of the least selected from the set for the Spanish respondents. Personally, I had to look this up for translation, which came in handy when I was explaining the sport to some of my friends and family members. That concludes my piece. Thank you all for listening. Up next, Rashida Simmons will give us insights on the demographic information we collected in the survey.
Good morning. My name is Rashida Simmons, and I'm excited to present the demographics portion of the survey, detailing the significance of age, profession, and postal codes in terms of the impact and awareness of the World Games. We wanted to know more about the respondents and how the demographics broken down each play a part and how the participants are impacted by the World Games and what factors possibly impacted their awareness. Although we received responses from all over, I focused on the data from respondents in the state of Alabama. We will start with age. We wanted to know the ages of the participants to test our theory pertaining to marketing. We initially believed the promotional efforts were strictly online. Looking at the ages of the participants, 25 through 34 accounted for 51.61% of the total count in the state of Alabama. This age bracket can be viewed as more active online, whether it be for work or leisure. Next, we will take a look at postal codes. We wanted to see if the respondents lived near where the games would be held and whether that would have any impact on their awareness. The map on the left displays the top 5 postal codes of respondents consisting of locations in Birmingham and surrounding areas. The map on the left also shows that most respondents live in areas in which events are being held. The map on the right is an image from the World Games main website. If you take a look, the map almost mirrors the top 5 residential postal codes of the survey respondents in the state of Alabama. The top five postal codes consist of the greater Birmingham area, Vestavia, Homewood, and Avondale, where events such as archery, bowling, kickboxing, and roller sports, just to name a few, will be hosted. Last, we wanted to take a look at the Alabama respondents' profession to make any correlations. Would their jobs influence or determine their thoughts about the games? Would their jobs allow them greater access to information to be more informed about the event? We initially thought that the hospitality industry would generate the most results, but when looking at the top 5 industries, to my surprise, the top industry is nonprofit, followed by telecommunication, technology, internet, and electronics. That concludes my portion of the presentation, and Benita Weaver will now discuss the participants' thoughts on the World Games.
So far, we talked about what the respondents know and who they are. So now let's look at what they think and how they feel. I will discuss the 2 survey questions that address resident awareness. And you're probably wondering, aren't knowledge and awareness the same thing? There's a difference. Knowledge is understanding and absorbing information. Simply defined, awareness is perceiving, knowing, feeling, or being conscious of events or objects. Here's the first question that asks the respondents about what they feel is most important benefit of hosting the World Games. For my analysis, I wanted to strictly focus on residents of Jefferson and Shelby counties. So in my data, I excluded all of the codes that fell outside of these 2 counties. I looked at which answers garnered the most response of very important. So taking this into account, the top choice was city profile, garnering 44%. A very close second was improved infrastructure with 42%. Increased employment rounds out the top 3 with 35%. The other 2, increased tourism was 4th with 34%, and civic pride was 5th with 32%. For the benefits, I noticed that the trend is that this question garnered more of a stronger answer or a stronger reaction than the concern question. This indicates more enthusiasm and reflects that residents support the mayor's goal of elevating the city as a viable destination for future events. The next question deals with what residents may perceive as or concerns that the residents may have about hosting the event. Unlike the benefit question, the concern response was a bit more muted, and this was kind of shocking to me, yet it's very revealing. The top concern would be traffic with 26%. The next top concern is higher prices for goods and services with 24%. And in third place is increased crime. The percentages of very impactful is relatively low to the stronger choices for the benefits. As you can see, most of the responses were fairly moderate. The higher percentage of moderate reactions highlights that the residents believe the benefits far outweigh the concerns. I wanted to very quickly highlight some very interesting trends by breaking down the results by profession and age. As previously mentioned, one of the top industries was nonprofit. The top benefit for those in the nonprofit sector was jobs. However, city profile ranked higher with all other professions. We also wanted to examine if age impacted awareness. Values are closely aligned and differ with age. The responses were generally the same across the board with age, with the exception of 18 to 24-year-olds. Their top concern was employment. However, those results were a bit overshadowed by the answers of the other age brackets. Overall, the survey showcases that residents are excited for the games and are having conversations. Residents see the potential, understand the investment, and are looking forward to seeing progress that can result from hosting. This concludes our presentation. Our team was definitely challenged through the entire process. We learned so much about not just the games, but also ourselves. We thank you for your time and for your attention. Now back to Taylor.